There was a very clear decision to talk about those corruption cases. You did not try to hide them whatsoever.
No, totally not, because we knew that they were coming. So we, in the beginning of the campaign, we wanted to prepare the public for the corruption charges and explain to them that they will all collapse like a house of cards. This is a term we coined and we pushed very hard, and it was one of the best or most successful moments of the campaign, because we saw that even after the corruption charges and all the media against Netanyahu, we didn't lose any seats in the polls, so that was a great achievement. Afterwards, we understood that it will be hard to distinct Netanyahu from the generals in the field of security, as they have.
And he's known as Mr. Security.
Mr. Security, but together, three head generals, and they have, they said, 117 years experience in the army.
Yeah.
So we tried to change the conversation to the fields of international relations and financial success.
Yeah, but you know, one of the Israeli pundits said in the aftermath of the elections that Netanyahu got 70 seats overall, 35 for him and 35 against him. Was that really the working assumption, that as long as the discourse is Benjamin Netanyahu, yes or no, let it be corrupt, yes or no, or prime minister, yes or no, he remains on top?
I think that's the weakest point in the blue and white campaign, that they didn't really bring any real proposition or any value to the table. They just said, not Netanyahu, not Bibi, not Netanyahu.
So a main motif in the campaign was this anti-establishment notions, especially when we're talking about the media. And one of the quote-unquote solutions you had for it is to set up a new media platform of your own, a very provocative one, the Likud TV. So let's take a quick look about what is it all about, and we'll continue the discussion from there.
When all the news channels are producing news to suit themselves, we are here to tell you the truth. Join me at the Likud TV studios on Facebook. I can promise you one thing: there will be positive coverage, truthful coverage.
Yeah, so throughout the campaign, this Likud TV had several incidents from implying that Benny Gantz, former chief of staff, leader of the Blue and White Party, will lead to dead soldiers, and mocking an Israeli journalist who got wounded during his army service. A lot of controversial incidents there, and many dubbed it as a new low in Israeli political campaigning. Do you feel that way?
Well, that's a compliment.
Is it?
No, I'm kidding. First of all, about the Likud TV, I mean, Netanyahu is a global pioneer in digital marketing and in the way he talks directly to the voters, bypasses the media. Regarding the criticism, I mean, the campaign was very full. We created over 500 videos in total, hundreds of content pieces, and of course, when you do something of this scale, there will be mistakes, and some things will not work perfectly.
Generally speaking, do you have any regrets on what you did or didn't do during the campaign?
I think we didn't leverage enough Mrs. Netanyahu, and the campaign was only focused on Netanyahu himself. When in the last weeks of the campaign, I traveled the country with her, and we saw how popular she is, and we said, okay, we could have used it in the campaign, put her more in the front. She is definitely part of the Netanyahu brand. Yeah. So maybe this is for the next campaign.
Well, speaking of the Netanyahu brand, the very common topic here in Israel is the involvement of his eldest son, Yair. How involved was he in the campaign?
I think that in every family, the family members are involved in giving advice, and I can say very smart advice from Yair and Avner and Mrs. Netanyahu herself, but not...
And Netanyahu himself listens to them?
He definitely listens to them. I was deeply moved by it, because I know the Netanyahu family from the public, and you know, they got so much negative media, and I saw how they support each other, and a real strong family together, I was deeply impressed by it.
Well, maybe something to pinpoint ahead of the next campaign. But let's move back to Netanyahu. How involved is he really in the its and bits of the campaign? Take us into the the back room here, and maybe if you can also share a moment where you dreaded that you're losing control over the discourse, losing control over the campaign.
Netanyahu is a genius. He's a real lion. I've never seen anybody work like this in this capacity. Netanyahu is focused 100% of the time. After 14 working hours, he can manage 3 different meetings. His main, if I would say in one word, he says clarity.
Okay.
We're looking for clarity in the messaging, in the visual design, in the videos.
Give us an example for that, for Netanyahu's involvement that really elevated a certain point in the campaign.
I can say that was like one of the first experiences in the campaign. We made a video, and we brought it to him to watch, maybe a 20-second video, and he watched it once, and he said, okay, seconds 13 to 15, erase. Second 16 to 18, put before second 9, and change the slogan in the end like this. Just one view. You know, I'm working with the biggest clients. They need to watch the video maybe 100 times to give
to
feedback.